I am the canary raised by He Xingxiao, lazy in bed, crying out in pain and exhaustion after a while, shopping with swift strides, spending his money recklessly, until I saw a row of bullet comments. The wicked female supporting character's good days are about to come to an end, as the universally adored and cherished female lead is about to meet the male lead. She repeatedly framed the female lead, gradually earning the male lead's disdain, before the male lead could even abandon her. She embezzled his money and ran off with a fake rich second generation. In the end, the fake rich second generation stole all her savings, harvested her kidney, and she died a tragic death in a rented room. She deserved it. Only a kind and non-materialistic girl like the female lead is worthy of the big shot's love. I don't want to lose this job with a monthly salary of 300,000. From then on, I stopped slacking off, and in bed, I was as energetic as if I had been injected with chicken blood, leaving no opportunity for the female lead. He Xingxiao said with a half-smile, "Do you want to make me die of a sudden stroke so you can inherit all my assets?" He Xingxiao insisted on dressing me up as a bunny girl and indulging in debauchery with me during the day. He wants me to do this and that, and then that and this. There's no job that isn't annoying. I lay on top of him, whining, "My back aches, my legs hurt. And I'm so tired I don't even want to move my fingers." He Xingxiao pinched my waist hard. He loves leaving fingerprints, kiss marks, and bite marks all over me. When we go shopping, you dart around faster than I do, and I never hear you complain about being tired. He no longer counts on me. He flipped over, swapping our positions. The commotion grew louder and more intense. After satisfying his desires, He Xingxiao got up to get dressed. Seeing him in a good mood, I crawled over, wrapped my arms around his waist from behind, and pressed my face against his back, clinging to him. "Brother Xingxiao, I like this bag. Buy it for me." I stealthily extended my phone. He Xingxiao directly emptied my shopping cart. I stared at the 26 items awaiting delivery and kissed his face. "You're the best boss in the world. Thanks." I don't know what I said wrong. The smile at the corner of his mouth vanished, and the atmosphere around him turned icy. I watched him nervously. "Tonight, come with me to the celebration banquet." "Oh, okay." Seeing He Xingxiao's expression soften slightly, I took advantage of the situation and leaned in again to share a lingering, passionate kiss with him. Suddenly, a row of bullet comments appeared before my eyes. "The good days of the malicious female supporting character are about to come to an end. The beloved female lead, adored by all, is about to meet the male lead. She schemes against the female lead in various ways, gradually earning the male lead's disdain. Before the male lead even abandons her, she runs off with a fake rich second-generation heir, taking the male lead's money with her. In the end, the fake rich second-generation heir steals all her savings. She loses a kidney and dies tragically in a rented room. She deserves it. Only a kind and non-materialistic girl like the female lead is worthy of the big shot's love." "Why are you shivering? Are you cold?" I hugged He Xingxiao tightly and said, "Yes, hold me." He Xingxiao held me in his arms. I watched the barrage of comments, my heart in turmoil. I hold on to He Xingxiao's arm as we walk into the celebration banquet. I see a swaying figure from behind. Everyone's gaze is fixed on her. Jiang Jingning is already quite striking in appearance, but compared to Xia Nanchuan, she falls short. I have never seen such a breathtakingly beautiful woman in a Chongsam. Everyone praises her, and I became the control group that set off her beauty. I snorted coldly, displeased. The woman turned around, and upon seeing her face, subtitles appeared before my eyes again. "The male and female leads are about to drink the spiked red wine, then spend a wild night together." From then on, the male lead developed a taste for the female lead and never touched the vicious supporting female character again. It turned out that this Xia Nanchuan was the female lead, the official partner of He Xingxiao. I cannot lose this job with a monthly salary of 300,000, where the patron occasionally drops extra gold coins. I need to change the plot. Xia Nanchuan walked gracefully and elegantly up to He Xingxiao, picking up a glass of red wine from the waiter's tray. "Mr. He, it's a pleasure to meet you. I am the director of The Fall of the Rose, and my name is Xia Nanchuan. Thank you so much for investing in my film. I'd like to propose a toast to you. It's these 2 glasses of wine that are the problem. They absolutely must not drink them. I'll drink for him." I picked up the other glass of wine, pretending to trip on her skirt. She lunged at Xia Nanchuan, knocking the wine from her hand. Both glasses of wine crashed to the floor. "All right, mission accomplished. Not sure how Xia Nanchuan lost her balance. She looks thin and weak, but she has great strength. She pulled me down with her, and I saw her hand about to press onto the broken glass. At the last moment, I pushed her away with all my strength. My left hand pressed onto the broken glass, cutting a gash and causing a lot of bleeding. My expressions and movements were meticulously designed, crying beautifully and looking pitiful. Xia Nanchuan, I have no grudge against you. Why did you push me onto the glass shards? Xia Nanchuan was at a loss for words, like a frightened rabbit, hurriedly explaining, it wasn't me. You deliberately fell onto them. I looked up at He Xingxiao from the most beautiful angle. He Xingxiao looked at me with an exceptionally cold gaze. He was angry, more furious than ever before. I felt uncertain inside. Could it be that after just the first meeting, he was already completely captivated by the female lead? I showed him my bleeding hand. Brother Xingxiao, it hurts. He Xingxiao bent down and picked me up in one swift motion. Xia Nanchuan grabbed his sleeve. He Xingxiao did not stop. She grabbed at empty air. Mister, he. You can see she did it on purpose, right? He Xingxiao did not respond to her, striding briskly into the lounge. I flashed a triumphant smile at her. Xia Nanchuan stood there in a daze, feeling lost. The doctor came in with a medical kit and treated my wound. He Xingxiao, having long held a high position, rarely lost his temper. Once angered, they are bound to make someone suffer. Incredibly cruel. Next month's allowance is completely cut off. That's 300,000. My world has collapsed. Why? To teach you a lesson. If you didn't want me to drink with her, you could have told me directly. There was no need to hurt yourself. He is the victor of the family struggle, a ruthless man who fought his way through bloodshed. My little tricks couldn't possibly escape his notice. But if Xia Nanchuan had drunk that glass of wine, influenced by the plot, the two of them would likely still end up sleeping together by accident. Injured my left hand, ruining our first night together. Worth it. My throat was almost parched, and I coquettishly pleaded, how about giving me 200,000? Brother Xing. He Xingyao couldn't be bothered to deal with me and went out. I followed behind him, absolutely determined not to let him have another chance to interact with the female lead. But I underestimated the power of the plot. The red wine was tampered with by Xiao Dongchen, the young master of the underworld. He is the obsessive second male lead in this book, determined to force his love on the female lead. At the celebration banquet, Xiao Dongchen threatened Xia Nanchuan, demanding that she go with him. Xia Nanchuan, with her strong and unyielding nature, smashed a wine bottle over Xiao Dongchen's head. She rushed up to He Xingxiao and took out an antique pocket watch. Mister, he. Do you still remember that 7 years ago, when you were seriously injured, it was I who saved you? You left me this pocket watch, saying that one day I could make a request of you. Mister, he, I need to stay at your Zhanhui villa. I was about to stop him. He Xingxiao said, all right. By saying this, he was openly expressing his intention to protect her. Xiao Dongchen covered his head and chased after them, his eyes filled with unwillingness. Yet he couldn't lay a hand on the person He Xingxiao was determined to protect. A new spoiler appeared in the bullet comments. The female lead moves into Zhanhui villa, and the malicious female rival uses every means to harm her, but she cleverly resolves each one. As He Xingxiao spends time with Xia Nanchuan, he gradually falls deeper and deeper. I instinctively clenched my fist, blood seeping through the gauze. Then we'll take our time and fight it out. We returned to Zhanhui villa. After He Xingxiao learned that Xia Nanchuan was his lifesaver, his attitude toward her was indeed different. Jingning, arrange a room for Miss Xia, with the same food, clothing, and daily necessities as you. I was unhappy inside, but smiled on the surface. Understood. I hadn't even started causing trouble yet. Xia Nanchuan took the lead and had my vegetable garden dug up, replacing it with flowers. I ran downstairs angrily and saw the vegetables that had been tossed aside, feeling heartbroken. Xia Nanchuan smiled and said, such a high-end mansion, planting vegetables in the yard isn't elegant enough. Look, how beautiful these datura and lancome roses are. Xia Nanchuan was wearing a little white dress with a floral headscarf on her head. Under the sunlight, she smiled with pure and beautiful innocence. She picked a flower and tucked it behind my ear. Good Jingning, don't be angry. Stand among the flowers, and I'll take a beautiful photo of you, but I just love growing vegetables. Such fertile land would be a shame not to use for planting. One step back, and you'll have to keep retreating. I rolled up my sleeves, picking flowers while telling the servant, pick all these flowers for me and make them into flower cakes. Xia Nanchuan grabbed my arm, her eyes reddening as she anxiously said, "Stop, don't touch my flowers." I pushed her away. I didn't use much force. She crashed headfirst into the rockery, her head bleeding profusely. I was stunned. Xia Nanchuan looked behind me. "Delicate and gentle, mister, the flowers you didn't have time to see back then, I've planted them for you, don't blame Jingning, she didn't mean to push me, I just lost my balance." Her words were laced with hidden barbs. I could tell she was implying I was being manipulative. I turned around. He Xingxiao looked at the flower by my temple, lost in thought, and said, "This flower is truly beautiful. There are unique memories between the two of them." I am crawling in the dark and twisted recesses of my heart, feeling quite envious and resentful of Xia Nanchuan. He Xingxiao personally escorted Xia Nanchuan to the hospital. I sat in the living room, restless and uneasy, hearing the sound of the car. I hid behind the curtains and secretly observed. Xia Nanchuan had gauze wrapped around her head. As she got out of the car, she felt dizzy, stumbled, and fell into He Xingxiao's arms. He Xingxiao called the driver to support her, then took a box and led the way into the house. He handed the box to me. "What is this?" "Flower cake. Didn't you want to eat it?" I opened the box and silently ate the cake. "She's fine, don't feel guilty." I don't. He Xingxiao owns many properties in the capital city. Moving away from Zhanhui Villa is a good way to change the plot. "Brother Xingxiao, how about we move? That large apartment in the city center is quite nice. It's fine to stay there occasionally, but moving is not an option." This is the former residence of He Xingxiao's deceased mother. In his heart, this is the only place that truly feels like home. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw Xia Nanchuan walk in. I cupped He Xingxiao's face and kissed his lips, lingering until our lips parted with a soft, sticky sound. "Brother Xingxiao, carry me upstairs. I want you." He Xingxiao's breathing grew rapid as he lifted me in a child-carrying position with one hand. Hurrying up the stairs, I clung to his neck, glaring darkly at Xia Nanchuan. "She wants to steal my god of wealth." No. The next day when I woke up, I saw that the flowers in the yard had been dug up. Workers were repairing my vegetable garden. Xia Nanchuan was picking up the fallen flowers. I walked over, unable to hide my smugness. "Brother Xingxiao still favors me. You need to keep trying." "Jiang Jingning, relying on your looks to please others. How long can that last? If you had put the effort you spent on men into your career, you would have been as successful as I am long ago." I don't like her condescending attitude. She comes from a film family and used her family's resources to produce a blockbuster movie right after graduating from college. As for me, I was forced by my parents to go out and work to help support the family right after finishing middle school. She doesn't understand the struggles of girls from the lower class and speaks with a naive, "Why not eat meat porridge?" kind of ignorance. I smiled. The villainous supporting characters, never waste our energy on self-doubt. You're so capable. Why do you still resort to blackmail and seek He Xingxiao's protection? The way you look at him, you practically want to strip him bare. Xia Nanchuan's face flushed red as she straightened her back. "I'm not like you. I genuinely admire him and don't care about his money. I will make Mr. He see your true colors." I'm a bit curious about how Xia Nanchuan plans to do it. I'm sprawled on the sofa, scrolling through short dramas and munching on potato chips, living the good life. Xia Nanchuan and He Xingxiao came in together. She meticulously listed the monthly expenses of Zhanhui Villa, proving how much I had embezzled while managing the household. Also, the antique paintings in the living room were all sold by her, and what's displayed now are high-quality replicas. Mr. It's hard to guard against a thief within the family. I kept scrolling through the short videos without even looking up. He Xingxiao asked, "Miss Xia, would you get angry at your pet cat for breaking one of your water glasses?" "No." Xia Nanchuan finally understood. My actions, to him, are like a kitten breaking a water glass. Thank you for reminding me of this. But I am the kind of owner who would tolerate my cat tearing up the house just to be able to pet it. Xia Nanchuan left with an embarrassed expression. He Xingxiao sat on the sofa. I held the pillow, kneeling on it to massage his legs. The movements were very smooth, and the attitude of admitting mistakes had to be displayed. Learn from her. Her level is much higher than yours. I rubbed my face against his leg. As long as you help me, I will remain undefeated. Stop trying to be clever and act cute. I haven't treated you badly, yet you actually stole from home. You already said you're not angry, so just think of it as tossing a few coins to make me happy. He Xingxiao snorted. I knew he really wasn't angry, so I sat on his lap and continued watching short videos. We canaries have no hearts. We only care about our patrons' money. In this line of work, the biggest taboo is falling in love with a client. He plays with me. I play with him. It's all just a game. These lines are too fitting. I immediately turned off the short drama and leaned in to kiss his Adam's apple. Xingxiao, you know I truly love you, right? He sneered. I'm not afraid that you only want my money. I am indeed wealthy. Xingxiao's hand slipped under the hem of my clothes. I saw a new barrage of comments again. The male lead encounters a life-threatening danger, and the female lead saves him once again. The male lead falls for the female lead for the first time. I bit my lip and buried my face in the crook of his neck. This time, it's my turn to save him. Grandma He Xingxiao's birthday banquet, Xia Nanchuan, as the daughter of the Xia family, also received an invitation. The gift-giving segment. The gift I gave was a piece of jewelry worth 10 million. Grandma He didn't even look up, saying coldly, "You're spending Xingxiao's money anyway," with no sincerity at all. Xia Nanchuan gave a handmade medicinal pillow that helps with sleep and calms the mind. Grandma He held the medicinal pillow, unable to put it down, and said with satisfaction, "You're the one who truly cares. I haven't been sleeping well lately, but the scent of this pillow makes me feel refreshed and clear-headed." Everyone was amazed and cast admiring glances at Xia Nanchuan. At the same time, she looked at me with a disdainful expression. Xia Nanchuan looked at me with a rather smug expression. I opened the jewelry box, leaned in close to Grandma He, and said with a smile, "Grandma, I heard from Xingxiao that when Grandpa's business failed back then, it was you who sold your dowry to help him turn things around. I searched for a long time before I found this piece of jewelry." Grandma He examined the jewelry, overjoyed to the point of tears. "I've searched for so many years and never found it. Child, you are truly thoughtful." The guests all praised Grandma He as a virtuous wife, saying that the He family's success today was all thanks to her, which greatly delighted the elderly lady. I picked up Xia Nanchuan's pillow and took a sniff. Dragon bone and magnetite can indeed aid sleep, but both are slightly toxic, with the side effect of harming digestive function. Grandma has always had a weak stomach, so when using these medicinal herbs, it's essential to strictly follow the guidance of a traditional Chinese medicine practitioner and use them with caution. Grandma He instantly changed her expression and scolded Xia Nanchuan, "Miss Xia, if you don't understand traditional Chinese medicine, you shouldn't recklessly use herbs and harm others." Xia Nanchuan hurriedly explained, "It's only slightly toxic. Side effects only occur with large doses. My pillow is perfectly safe." The guest sighed and said, "Even slight toxicity is still toxic. Grandma He, you must not use it." Fortunately, Miss Jiang understands traditional Chinese medicine. Otherwise, if you had injured yourself, it would have been quite a suffering. I don't understand traditional Chinese medicine. I only looked up the pharmacology and secretly memorized it after learning that Xia Nanchuan was making a medicinal pillow. Now I've managed to show off. Feels great. I threw the pillow aside and gave Xia Nanchuan a wicked smile. She was so angry her hands were trembling. I looked up just in time to see He Xingxiao standing on the second floor watching us. He Xingxiao sent me a message. "You've improved." I seized the opportunity and replied, "So about next month's allowance." I hadn't even finished typing the words. He was the first to reply, "Deducted as usual." I gritted my teeth. "Then I won't be serving in the bedchamber next month. Kitten on strike, JPG. He replied instantly, "Rejected," immediately followed by a second message, "Only send 200,000. Negotiation successful." I also have his weak spot in my grasp. He Xingxiao gave me a smirk, then turned and went back to the study to continue discussing business with his uncles. Xia Nanchuan saw the interaction between me and He Xingxiao, and the seed of jealousy took root and sprouted in her eyes. It was me who saved He Xingxiao back then. I should be his white moonlight. Why doesn't he even glance at me, but instead takes a liking to a vain, gold-digging, dead green tea bitch like you? I sneered. "What's wrong, miss? Finally realize the world doesn't revolve around you. And you're breaking down." Xia Nanchuan was so angry she stormed off. "Actually, what I'm fighting for isn't a man at all. It's the monthly salary of 300,000, along with countless expensive gifts." Xia Nanchuan might as well just name her price. If she offers more than He Xingxiao, who knows, I might actually consider leaving He Xingxiao. She has never been poor, no going hungry to the point of stealing food to eat, no inability to afford sanitary pads, using rough paper instead. Staining pants and being laughed at by classmates, no bathing with laundry detergent, no being scolded by my own father for wasting gas to heat water to wash my hair in winter, asking if there was shit on my head. Poverty made me feel worthless, unworthy of having nice things. People are often trapped for life by the things they couldn't obtain in their youth. A privileged girl like Xia Nanchuan could never understand how deeply we money sexuals love money. The birthday banquet had not yet begun. The garden at the He family's main residence was beautifully landscaped, so I went out to stroll through it. Unknowingly, I walked to a secluded place. Suddenly, someone pushed me hard from behind. I tumbled down dozens of steps, falling until my head was bleeding. In my blurred vision, I saw Xia Nanchuan standing high above, looking at me coldly. I actually laughed. If she's no longer kind, does that mean she can't be with He Xingxiao anymore? When I woke up, everything around me was pitch black. I couldn't help but make a joke. It's so dark. Kong, did you forget to light the candles? He Xingxiao took hold of my hand. Don't be afraid, the blindness is only temporary. The doctor said it's due to a blood clot pressing on the optic nerve. Once the clot dissolves, your vision will gradually recover. That's strange. He Xingxiao can always detect my true emotions. I grip his hand tightly, my other hand clutching his sleeve. How long will it be before I can see? 1 or 2 months. Really? Really? I felt a bit more at ease. He Xingxiao asked fiercely, was it Xia Nanchuan who pushed you? Xia Nanchuan was also there, and she said nervously, I didn't, it wasn't me. The barrage did not show when, where, or what danger He Xingxiao would encounter. I am now blind, truly weak and unable to take care of myself, so I'm afraid I can't save him. Xia Nanchuan has the protagonist's halo and can save him. Even if I want Xia Nanchuan to get lost, I still have to protect her first. Only then can I preserve my wealth and glory. It wasn't her. The high-heeled shoe twisted, and I accidentally fell down myself, with my vengeful nature, where a single grievance is exaggerated tenfold. It's impossible for me to defend Xia Nanchuan at this moment. Therefore, He Xingxiao believed my words. He pulled me into his embrace, his voice full of warning. Miss Xia, I kept my promise and let you live in Zhanhui Villa, just to repay the kindness you showed me in the past. I don't like you, so please behave yourself. If you dare to do anything to hurt Jingning in the future, I won't let you off. I am not a good person. Remember that. Their script was one of a tragic, deep love. In the early stages, He Xingxiao truly did not love her and instead protected me. Xia Nanchuan said with a trembling voice, Mr. He, how could you think of me that way? I've always wanted to be good friends with Jingning. How could I ever harm her? Xia Nanchuan left in sorrow. I said to He Xingxiao, I consulted a master, and he said we're both facing a blood-related disaster recently. Mine has already come true. So be careful when you go out, and bring more bodyguards, okay? I whined and made an outrageous demand. Brother Xingxiao, my head hurts so much. I need 10 bags and 8 big gold bracelets to get better. He Xingxiao tightened his arms and held me close. I'll buy them all for you. He makes me feel precious. If he ends up falling in love with Xia Nanchuan as the plot dictates, I would be truly heartbroken. I stirred up a bellyful of mischief, determined to prevent them from falling in love. Xia Nanchuan made the first move against me. Next time you do something bad, I can feel at ease to take heavy-handed action. Suddenly losing one's sight is a terrifying thing. I couldn't move an inch and fell many times. He Xingxiao had the servants pad all the furniture to prevent me from getting hurt. I feel very insecure and rely heavily on He Xingxiao. Even when he goes to the bathroom, I have to hold on to the hem of his clothes and wait for him. But he cares a lot about his image when he's using the toilet. He doesn't allow me to stick to him. I'm scratching the door outside. Brother Xingxiao, I don't mind you. Stay quiet for 10 minutes, and you'll get a reward of 100,000. Alright, Alipay payment received. 100,000 yuan. I held my phone, grinning from ear to ear. He Xingxiao personally fed me and bathed me, although every time during the bath, he would end up doing indescribable things with me. I no longer slack off, but instead, I'm as energetic as if I had been injected with adrenaline, leaving Xia Nanchuan not a single chance. I also did things he had asked me to do before, which I had always refused, satisfying some of his strange fetishes. He Xingxiao's breathing was very erratic. Jingning, are you trying to make me die of a sudden stroke so you can inherit all my assets? I asked knowingly. Do you like it then? He Xingxiao used his actions to show me that he was utterly captivated by me, in the heat of passion. He asked me, Jingning, do you like it? I've always approached this kind of thing with a work mindset, but the body's reactions are always honest. I felt very comfortable too. He Xingxiao chuckled, unable to hide his smugness. I held him tightly and said in a coquettish tone, "Brother Xingxiao, you're the only man for me, but I'm sure you're the one who fits me best." He gripped my waist, his palm burning hot. "Letting me die on you wouldn't be so bad." A night of absurdity. That day, He Xingxiao had an appointment with a certain big shot to discuss matters at the club. He booked a private room for me and ordered many of my favorite snacks. "Secretary Chen and Aunt Wang are here to take care of you. If you need anything, just let them know. I'll be right back. You sit here and don't wander around." I was amused by him. I actually felt a sense of fatherly love from He Xingxiao. He Xingxiao gave a few instructions to Secretary Chen before leaving. I was eating snacks and drinking tea, feeling inexplicably flustered inside. The barrage wasn't seen through vision, it was more like a signal transmitted through brainwaves. In a blurry background, I clearly saw a new barrage. Inside the club, a group of armed thugs break in and attempt to assassinate the male lead. The female lead cuts off the power, buying time for the male lead. Finally, a thug hiding in the shadows fires a shot at the male lead, and the female lead takes the bullet for him. He Xingxiao is discussing important matters with a big shot, so his phone will be turned off. I broke out in a cold sweat. "Secretary Chen, go upstairs and inform Mr. He immediately. A group of armed thugs is on their way to kill him." Secretary Chen rushed upstairs. I said to Mama Wang, "Mama Wang, please go and cut the power." Wang Ma knocked over the pastries in a panic and said, "They have guns. I'm just a worker. I don't want to die." Wang Ma fled in a panic. She chose to protect herself, which is only human. I understand her. I am the most important. If I were in their shoes, I would have run away first too. During this period, the blood clot that was pressing on the optic nerve has partially dissipated. I am not completely blind now. I can see the general outlines of objects. I quickly called the police. There are He Xingxiao's bodyguards downstairs, and now the sounds of gunfire and fighting can be heard. By the time the police arrive, I'm afraid it will be too late. I can't just sit and wait for death, so I feel my way out to turn off the power switch. All around are fleeing passers-by. I stumbled all the way, constantly tripping and falling, ending up bruised and battered. Then, I got lost. As a blind person, I couldn't find the electrical switch at all. Just then, the power went out. Did Xia Nanchuan turn off the power switch? I breathed a sigh of relief, praying that He Xingxiao could turn the situation around and overcome the danger. The gunfire gradually subsided, and the assailants were subdued. The power came back on. I crashed into a familiar embrace. He Xingxiao's voice had never sounded so panicked. "Jingning, are you okay?" "I'm fine." "Are you hurt?" "I'm fine too." I've been keeping an eye on the corner of the stairs, and I saw a blurry figure raise a gun, aiming at He Xingxiao. "Watch out." I pushed He Xingxiao away with all my strength. The bullet grazed my cheek, leaving a streak of blood. I was so frightened that I threw myself to the ground, trembling as I covered my head. Finally, the last of the assailants was subdued. Xia Nanchuan rushed over and asked anxiously, "Mr. He, are you all right?" He Xingxiao picked me up from the ground, where I had been scared out of my wits, and carried me in a princess hold. I curled up in his arms, trembling like a leaf. He Xingxiao kissed my forehead twice, his voice trembling as he said, "It's okay, you weren't shot." He repeated it again, as if comforting himself, "You weren't shot." He Xingxiao completely ignored Xia Nanchuan and rushed me to the hospital. I gradually came back to my senses. The heroine's shining moment was snatched by me. The circuit breaker was turned off by someone sent by He Xingxiao after he learned there were armed assailants. Xia Nanchuan didn't even get credit for pulling the switch. I lay in the hospital bed, leisurely munching on an apple. He Xingxiao asked me, "How did you know there were assailants, and that they had guns?" The most reasonable explanation is that I was a spy planted by the mastermind beside He Xingxiao, and I turned against him at the scene. If I said I could see spoiler bullet comments, no one would believe me. I would even be considered insane and locked up in a mental hospital. I really have no way to defend myself. The master divined it. Where is that master? I'd like to meet him too. We met by chance on the roadside. He had a connection with me, but not with you. I covered my chest and coquettishly said, "Brother Xingxiao, please stop asking. I'm not feeling well. Can you listen to how flustered my heart is?" He Xingxiao was naturally suspicious and didn't believe my absurd explanation. He massaged my chest and said helplessly, Jiang Jingning, tell me the truth. Even if you are a spy, I won't blame you. My nose tingled with a sour feeling, and I felt very wronged. Rubbing my eyes, I held back the tears. I'm not a spy, I'm not. At a time like this, you could have easily won me over with tears. Why aren't you crying? He Xingxiao sighed, hugged me, and said seriously, let's put this matter behind us. I won't bring it up again. He said to turn the page, and he truly meant it. Soon, He Xingxiao discovered that the mastermind behind it all was his second uncle, He Junting. He Junting was sent to prison. With the crisis resolved, I was about to tell He Xingxiao that it was Xia Nanchuan who pushed me. At that moment, the bullet comments refreshed again. The male lead will encounter new life-threatening dangers, and the female lead will save him. Adversity reveals true feelings. The relationship between the male and female leads will progress by leaps and bounds. Again. Is this never going to end? It feels as if there is a mysterious force in this world, correcting the increasingly deviating course of the story. As He Xingxiao's life-saving talisman, Xia Nanchuan must continue to stay by his side. I think of my tragic ending, robbed of all my savings by a fake rich second generation, having my kidney harvested, and dying in a rented apartment. A chill runs down my spine. I'm really afraid that even if I change this version, the plot will still force me towards a predetermined ending in another version. Brother Xingxiao, if I were to take your money and run off with another man, what would you do? He Xingxiao's voice sounded like a sinister male ghost. Who is he? Oh dear. Hypothetically speaking, just chatting, don't get upset. Kill him, then capture you, lock you up. He Xingxiao's choice is different from what the plot arranged. Our lives, even from the moment we are born, have a script written for us, but how are we supposed to live our own lives? My fate is in my hands, not controlled by a script. Suddenly enlightened, I wanted to kiss his lips, but I missed and ended up kissing his nose. I won't run off with another man. If that man is the world's richest person, I hesitated for 3 seconds. Just those 3 seconds made He Xingxiao fly into a rage. I had to put in a lot of effort to finally calm him down. I lay across his lap, putting on that seductive act again. He Xingxiao, my mouth hurts, my chin hurts too. You're bullying a blind person. Even though I couldn't see, I knew. At that moment, He Xingxiao must have looked incredibly sexy, with a lazy, satisfied expression on his face. What do you want to buy now? I originally wanted him to give me that large apartment in the city. Suddenly, inspiration struck. All along, I had been ignoring his feelings. After the tenderness, I immediately asked him for favors. He probably wasn't happy about it. I said softly, I don't want anything, I just wanted to do this, to make you happy. He Xingxiao laughed, a genuinely happy laugh. Why is it that when he's happy, I feel more satisfied than when buying a bag or a big gold bracelet? I hugged He Xingxiao's waist, rubbing my face against his stomach, cat snuggling with its owner. JPG, sunlight spilled over us, warm and cozy. A month later, the blood clot completely dissipated, and my vision returned to normal. At the shareholders' meeting, He Xingxiao had me sit in the main seat, which was originally He Junting's position. Everyone was puzzled. I was also completely confused. I just kept eating the snacks on the table. A shareholder asked, Mr. He, what do you mean by this? He Xingxiao suddenly announced, I've given He Junting's shares to Jingning. Cough, cough, cough. I choked. He Xingxiao casually patted my back. A while ago, He Xingxiao had me sign a bunch of documents and press a lot of fingerprints. I had no idea that he was giving me He Junting's shares. What a tremendous fortune that was. I became an overnight millionaire, instantly achieving a class leap. It's certain that in this world, no one could offer more than He Xingxiao. Even if the shareholders were green with envy and unwilling, they couldn't defy He Xingxiao's will. It seems He is quite fond of Miss Jiang. Is this a betrothal gift? He Xingxiao said calmly, it's not much money, hardly a betrothal gift. Everyone fell silent. I fainted on the spot. When I fainted, a serene smile still lingered at the corner of my mouth. I woke up laughing. When I awoke, I had already returned to Zhanhui Villa. He Xingxiao chuckled. Is that all you've got? I rushed over and hugged He Xingxiao, my mouth grinning from ear to ear. Why did you give me He Junting's shares? A token of gratitude for saving my life, or an apology for mistakenly thinking you were a spy? He Xingxiao had naturally investigated thoroughly and found out that I was not a spy planted by He Junting beside him. Xia Nanchuan went mad with jealousy in the room when she found out I had obtained He Junting's shares. It shouldn't be like this. it shouldn't be. I was at the clubhouse back then too. I should have been the one to save him. Everything Jiang Jingning has now should have been mine. Why is this happening? As the vicious female supporting character, when we're doing well, we naturally have to go show off in front of the female lead, adding insult to injury. I'm just lucky, suddenly more successful in my career than you. What are you so proud of? You're just trash who trades sex for money. Smack. I slapped her across the face. She covered her cheek. How dare you hit me? She raised her hand, intending to slap me back. I grabbed her wrist and slapped her again with the back of my hand. These 2 slaps are payback for you pushing me. You got off easy. Xia Nanchuan felt guilty and instantly fell silent, as quiet as a mouse. 2 slaps were certainly not enough, so I added a little gift. I ordered my trusted subordinate to release 10 large rats into Xia Nanchuan's room. Xia Nanchuan's scream echoed throughout the entire villa. She rushed out, her face pale with fright, and complained to He Xingxiao, Mr. Jiang Jingning threw a bunch of mice into my room. He Xingxiao was cold towards her. Such trivial matters, you should handle them yourself. Xia Nanchuan glared at me with resentment. I shook the 8 large gold bracelets on my wrist, smiling with the smugness of a petty person. Suddenly, I felt a tickle at my feet. Looking down, I saw a mouse about to nibble on my toes. I shot up and jumped onto He Xingxiao. Crying out in panic, brother Xingxiao, hurry and have someone catch the mice. There are 10 of them, not a single one can be left. Xia Nanchuan sneered. This is what you call lifting a rock only to drop it on your own foot. All the servants in the villa were busy catching mice, causing a chaotic mess. Before 10 mice were caught, I had already clung to He Xingxiao like a growth. He Xingxiao carried me in his arms, still in the posture of holding a child, and walked into the courtyard. Brother Xingxiao, are you also secretly laughing at me for being foolish? He patted my head, looking at me with a smile in his eyes. Our Jingning would never harm anyone. How could I possibly not harm anyone? Just as the bullet comment said, I am a dark, jealous, and full of malice villainous. But the thought that I could no longer be with He Xingxiao after doing evil made me hesitate. So, this wicked woman put away those cruel methods. Alas, he had no idea how much I had sacrificed for him too. At the shooting sports hall, I had just changed my clothes and entered the venue. Xia Nanchuan is also here. She really is like a lingering ghost. She has a male companion by her side. As soon as he appeared, I knew he was that fake rich second generation. Truly the ill-fated connection arranged for me by the plot. Seeing him makes my heart race, as if my soul has been struck. So, when He Xingxiao saw Xia Nanchuan, was it the same feeling? The plot made him love Xia Nanchuan, but so far, he still favors only me. Seeing me stare at the man without blinking, Xia Nanchuan smiled mischievously. Jiang Sun is my university classmate. His family is among the top tycoons in Singapore. It turned out that Xia Nanchuan was the one who introduced the fake rich second generation to me. She knew I was greedy for money. Jiang Sun was the trap she tailor-made for me. He Xingxiao was right. Her skill level is indeed very high. He Xingxiao came out after changing his clothes, instantly. Everyone's gaze was drawn to him. He has broad shoulders, a narrow waist, and long legs, exuding an aura of cold, ascetic authority. Clearly, he is more handsome than Jiang Sun, more masculine, and superior in every way. I must have been truly blind to betray He Xingxiao for the sake of Jiang Sun. With his 3 white eyes, I raised the gun and pointed it at Jiang Sun. He collapsed to the ground in terror. Stop, stop. Don't you dare do anything reckless. Bang. I hit the target behind him. Brother Xingxiao, Xia Nanchuan specifically introduced her university classmate to me, saying he's a top-tier billionaire from Singapore. He Xingxiao is the wealthiest person who has recently appeared by my side. He immediately had Secretary Chen investigate Jiang Sun's background. In less than half an hour, Secretary Chen found out that Jiang Sun is a professional scammer who has deceived many innocent girls. Jiang Sun was directly taken away by the police. Xia Nanchuan was crying, her tears falling like raindrops from pear blossoms. I really didn't know Jiang Sun was a fraud. He deliberately got close to me, surely to swindle my money. I want to thank you and Jingning for helping me expose him. Although He Xingxiao's face remained expressionless, he was already seething with anger. Based on my understanding of him, he would drive Xia Nanchuan out of Zhanhui Villa. By then, the underworld prince Xiao Dongchen, with no more reservations, would definitely forcibly imprison Xia Nanchuan. I don't know what life-threatening danger the damn plot has arranged for He Xingxiao. It's not yet time to drive Xia Nanchuan away, I quickly said. I never said you deliberately set me up. Look at how scared you are. Your makeup is all smudged from crying. You should go fix your makeup. Xia Nanchuan went to touch up her makeup. He Xingxiao looked surprised. She did something like this. Why are you keeping her? I pretended to be profound. Brother Xingxiao, you're not so amazing that you can see through everything. This is a riddle I've given you. Until the answer is revealed, let her continue living in our home. He Xingxiao agreed. He earnestly advised. There are many fake rich people and fake second-generation rich kids out there now. Don't be foolish and follow others. Even if they are truly wealthy, their money is just for you to look at. They won't actually give it to you. I held on to his arm. I know. I only like Brother Xingxiao's money. He Xingxiao is going on a business trip abroad. My passport has an issue, so I can't accompany him, because I don't know when or where he might be in danger. I'm experiencing severe separation anxiety. Is it absolutely necessary to go? This project is significant, and I need to be there in person. Then be careful and always have your bodyguards with you. Overseas, bodyguards can carry firearms, so make sure they're all fully armed. All right. Wait for me to come back. I immediately covered his mouth. Don't say anything that could jinx it. I let go, and he lowered his head to kiss me. It was a very lingering and passionate French kiss. Xingxiao. I want it. There's not enough time. I could only reluctantly let go of him. I don't know when it started, but I've become quite infatuated with him too. After He Xingxiao left, Xia Nanchuan showed no intention of going abroad. Then it should be. He will not be in danger on this journey. What I didn't expect was that the one in danger was me. Xia Nanchuan actually colluded with Xiao Dongchen, kidnapping me. Xia Nanchuan ordered Xiao Dongchen, kill her for me. The plot, I beseech the heavens to distinguish between loyalty and treachery. She has turned so dark. Just strip her of her protagonist's halo. Logically speaking, Xiao Dongchen wouldn't dare provoke He Xingxiao, unless this underworld prince intends to use me to threaten He Xingxiao and deliver a fatal blow to him. No need for spoilers in the comments. I already know. He Xingxiao's life-threatening danger this time was actually caused by the female lead herself, seeing that Xiao Dongchen remained unmoved. Xia Nanchuan commanded with an air of authority. What are you waiting for? Hurry up and take action. Xiao Dongchen grinned, lifting his foot to kick Xia Nanchuan flying. Xia Nanchuan clutched his stomach, spitting out a mouthful of blood, and said in disbelief, Don't you love me? Why are you treating me like this? Xiao Dongchen's face was covered in piercings and rings, and he stuck out his tongue, which also had a tongue ring. His gaze was like that of a venomous snake. Who told you that I love you? I'm just a bit interested in you. I want to play with you. Only now did Xia Nanchuan realize what kind of person she had provoked, but her excessive self-awareness refused to believe that Xiao Dongchen didn't love her either. No, that's not right. How could you possibly not love me? You're playing hard to get, aren't you, fool? I shattered her illusion. What's with all this talk of love and affection? Do you think you're some celestial beauty? That everyone must love you and be willing to die for you? Xiao Dongchen has been suppressed by He Xingxiao for so long, unable to do much business. If you give him the chance, he will definitely kill He Xingxiao. Love is nothing but a bird's egg. Interests are what truly matter. Xiao Dongchen walked up to me, pinched my chin, and said, You still have some brains. I continued speaking. So how could someone like He Xingxiao be threatened by you because of me? Besides, I'm just a canary he's played with for 3 years. He could tire of me at any moment. Why not let me go, and we'll pretend nothing ever happened. I won't tell him, and he won't seek revenge on you. Xiao Dongchen laughed. No, he loves you, I argued. No, he doesn't love me. The iron door opened, and He Xingxiao walked in alone. Xiao Dongchen exclaimed excitedly. See, he loves you. Xiao Dongchen had 30, no, over 40 heavily tattooed tough guys on his side. It's over. I'm doomed for sure, I cursed angrily. He Xingxiao, why did your IQ suddenly drop? If you hadn't come, I could have survived a bit longer. Now that you're here, we're both going to die. Because I told him that I wanted to see him at 10 o'clock, and for every minute that passed, I would cut off one of your fingers. He rushed back on his private jet, very punctual. I froze, speechless. I looked deeply at He Xingxiao. Fool, there's no need to put yourself in danger for me. He Xingxiao lit a cigarette, calm and reserved, and glanced calmly at his wristwatch. Let her go. Ha 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 ha. Xiao Dongchen's Yandera nature erupted as he clutched his stomach, laughing uncontrollably. He Xingxiao, you're nothing but a piece of meat on my chopping block now. What are you so arrogant about? Xiao Dongchen gripped my neck, squeezing tighter and tighter. Get on your knees for me, I'll kneel. Just don't hurt her. He Xingxiao frowned and knelt down. Xiao Dongchen was ecstatic. All these years, I've been swallowing my pride, bowing and scraping like a grandson in front of you. I never thought you'd kneel before me for a woman. Xiao Dongchen picked up an iron rod, charged over, and swung it at He Xingxiao like a madman. Mr. He, President He, big shot, blood splattered. Playing with you should be more fun than playing with a celestial beauty. He Xingxiao was covered in blood from head to face, yet he still didn't look disheveled. Xiao Dongchen stuffed the blood-stained iron rod into my hand, smiling maliciously. Come on, hit him hard. Trembling, I gripped the iron rod tightly. I am the most important. I have always been best at weighing the pros and cons. As a canary, the most taboo thing is to give your heart. My eyes were wide with rage, and I swung an iron rod fiercely at his head. Blood dripped down Xiao Dongchen's forehead. He Xingxiao exchanged with sincerity, and I am willing to offer my heart in return. I have never dared to admit that I love him. Bitch, you're asking for death. Xiao Dongchen snatched the iron rod from my hand and was about to strike me. I closed my eyes and covered my head. The expected pain did not come. Everyone's phone rang. After reading the message, over 40 fierce-looking, tattooed men all showed expressions of terror. They rushed over and pinned down their young master. Xiao Dongchen was bewildered. What are you doing? The pleas for mercy from the crowd rose and fell in waves. Mr. He, please spare my mother. Mr. He, I beg you to spare my daughter. Mr. He, I beg you to spare my wife. Everyone has a weakness. Xiao Dongchen seized He Xingxiao's weakness. He Xingxiao seized the weaknesses of all his subordinates, causing them all to betray him. This is the power of a boss. He Xingxiao stood up, walked over to Xiao Dongchen, and thrust the iron rod into his throat. You're very good at seeking death. At this moment, He Xingxiao is even more terrifying than Xiao Dongchen. This is what he truly looks like when he's angry, as expected of the man I've set my sights on. He's so handsome. He Xingxiao reached out his hand to me. Don't be afraid. Come here. I immediately threw myself into his arms, tightly wrapping my arms around his waist. 1,000 words are not as good as a hug. He Xingxiao's muscles tensed up. In truth, he was also very nervous, but it didn't show on his face. Secretary Chen and the bodyguards rushed in. He Xingxiao dropped the iron rod, and his muscles finally relaxed. The doctor immediately stepped forward to treat his wounds. I anxiously checked his head. He was seriously injured. He Xingxiao held my hand. It's okay. He had another doctor examine my neck. I asked, how are you going to deal with them? They broke the law, and the law will take care of them. My punishment for them is that all the social resources they possess will completely vanish. Only by falling to the bottom can one truly see hell. This is what it means to be a living king of hell. Once Xia Nanchuan becomes penniless, she will understand that for some people, merely surviving requires every ounce of their strength. At that moment, the bullet comments appeared once again. After Xiao Dongchen lost power, he was hacked to death by his enemies with random knives. Xia Nanchuan exhausted the female lead's luck, no longer possessing the protagonist's halo, and lived in poverty and destitution for the rest of her life. Perhaps, when each person is born, the script is already written, but in the end, what kind of life we make of it is our own choice. The barrage of comments fades away. I am no longer the villainous supporting character in someone else's story. Instead, I am the heroine of my own life. I plant cabbages in the yard, with He Xingxiao by my side. During a casual chat, I told He Xingxiao about the barrage comments. He didn't think I was crazy. After reflecting on what had happened during this time, he found it reasonable and gladly accepted it. The script made me love Xia Nanchuan, but my heart chose to love you. I stealthily pulled out my phone. Where the money is, there the love lies. Brother Xingxiao, I like this. Buy it for me. He Xingxiao smiled, skillfully emptied my shopping cart. I happily browsed through my pending deliveries. He suddenly said, Jiang Jingning, would you like to marry me? That was what he wanted to say before he went abroad. I leaned into his embrace, so happy I couldn't contain myself. Brother Xingxiao, I want a super big, super sparkly pigeon egg diamond ring, okay? The wedding dress has to be the most expensive and fashionable one too. What kind of betrothal gifts are there? I can't remember all of them. Secretary Chen will send you the spreadsheet. My life priorities have shifted, now in this order. Me, He Xingxiao, money. He Xingxiao is more important than money. I really love him so much. The end. Next is the second story. Xia Zhaolin's fiancée is pregnant. She gave birth and threw the child to me, sneering. You've had a crush on him for a long time, haven't you? You should be more than happy to raise this child for him. I was just about to start cursing at her. Suddenly, bullet comments appeared before my eyes. The child of the male and female leads, a genius prodigy, has appeared, becomes a hacker at 6, holds a painting exhibition at 8, and is a multi-millionaire by 10. I fell silent for a moment before taking the child from the swaddling clothes. Then I resigned with Xia Zhaolin. He casually lifted his eyelids. What are you making a fuss about again? I replied. I had a child, going back to my hometown to raise it. He sneered, casually wrote a check and threw it to me. Come back when you're done making a fuss. Later, while I was playing with my child by the seaside, I unexpectedly ran into Xia Zhaolin, who was taking wedding photos. His eyes widened in shock. You really have a child. The story has ended. The male and female leads went through numerous hardships, cleared up misunderstandings, and finally confessed their feelings to each other, ending up together. But all of this has nothing to do with me anymore. I held Su Wangnian's hand, his small palm resting in mine. At that moment, a barrage of comments appeared before my eyes, as expected of the main couple's child, so good-looking even at such a young age. But the female supporting character has been raising this child for so long. When will she give him back? Exactly, before. It was because the relationship between the male and female leads wasn't good, so they let the female supporting character raise him for a while. But now, the male and female leads are already together. I couldn't help but tighten my grip on Su Wangnian's hand. Mom, what's wrong? He asked, looking up with a childish voice. Nothing. I crouched down and pinched his cheek. Is there anything you want to eat? French fries, burgers, ice cream? He shook his head seriously. Mom, those aren't good for your health. Me, he asked again. Do you want to eat them? Me, yes. Su Wangnian looked as if he had no choice but to deal with me, and he led me toward that row of storefronts. The shop owner quickly started frying the French fries, and she chatted with the nearby customers. Yes, I saw it too. That scene was really grand. At first glance, you could tell it was a wealthy family, so many people just to take wedding photos. But the man was handsome and the woman beautiful. It really was a sight for sore eyes. Su Wangnian stood quietly by my side. He was clever from a young age. I never mentioned anything about his father, and he never asked. After the fries were fried, Su Wangnian took them for me, saying, they're hot now. Wait until they cool down to eat. I sighed helplessly. I know. The sea breeze blew in gusts, bringing a hint of delight. It wasn't until I saw the grand wedding photo shoot scene ahead that I stopped in my tracks. Su Wangnian whispered, this beach isn't theirs. Why are they taking up such a large area? I nodded in agreement. Exactly. As I finished speaking, the groom, surrounded by a crowd, casually turned his head. The man was dressed in a suit, casually slipping one hand into his pocket, his gaze sweeping around indifferently. I almost turned around instantly. Su Wangnian was taken aback. What's wrong? At that moment, I heard the photographer's voice not far away. All right, Mr. Xia, Miss Liang, look over here. Seeing me frozen, Su Wangnian tugged at me. Do you know them, Mom? Know them, more than just knowing them. They are your biological parents. I shook my head slightly and then said softly, I don't know them. Let me take you to the other side for a walk. Suddenly, someone tapped me on the shoulder. A person who looked like an assistant said, hello. We're taking wedding photos over there. Could we borrow your child? There's a theme that requires a flower girl to scatter petals. I looked up and said, that's not convenient. The person looked troubled and said, your child's face will be blurred out in the end. I repeat, it's not convenient. Tisk, is it really that hard to borrow a child for a photo? We can pay, the woman in the wedding dress said impatiently as she walked over. How much do you want? Before I could react, the woman had already walked up to me. Liang Chuyue saw my face and instinctively took a step back. Then she lowered her head and met Su Wangnian's gaze. The air froze for a moment, until a voice came from behind, magnetic and casual. If they don't want to, just let it be. Liang Chuyue finally snapped back to reality. She took several steps back and quickly turned around. Zhaolin, let's change the theme for the shoot, she said rapidly. From beginning to end, I never looked back. Yet the barrage of comments started scrolling frantically. Why isn't the female lead acknowledging the child? It's quite normal, isn't it? Back then, when the female lead and male lead had a fight, she casually handed the child over to the supporting female character. If the male lead found out about this, wouldn't he be furious? But after all, it's their child. They can't just let the supporting female character raise it forever. Right, exactly. He was originally a wealthy young master, but now he's living such an ordinary life. I stared at these comments, feeling a bit dazed. Then, I earnestly asked Su Wangnian, if there was a chance for you to become a wealthy young master, would you be willing? He wrinkled his nose. Am I going to have a dad? Me? No. Su Wangnian thought for a moment, then said seriously, if you're not here, Mom, then I don't want to. I was amused by him and ruffled his hair. The heavy atmosphere instantly dissipated. Just as we were about to walk away, that familiar voice rang out again. The man's tone, however, was no longer as casual as before. Instead, it had grown much more serious. Stop them, I want to see who it is that won't take the money to shoot. I once had a girl's sincere heart, and I gave it to Xia Zhaolin. Later, he lazily smiled and said, Suing, do you really think of yourself as my girlfriend? At that time, I was young and thin-skinned. Hearing him say that, I didn't want to lose face either. Staring into his charming, captivating peach blossom eyes, I said word by word, don't flatter yourself. I only see you as an employer. After all, you only have money. He raised an eyebrow at the time but didn't expose me. I hope so. But later, I truly practiced what I preached. Xia Zhaolin didn't have much else, but he certainly had a lot of money. When we were students, I was his sidekick. After I started working, I became his secretary. However, after Xia Zhaolin got engaged, I really thought about leaving him, because Liang Chuyue truly despised me, but Xia Zhaolin just slightly raised his eyes. Besides me, who else would give you such a high salary? After saying that, he pinched my chin. You should be content. Suing, every time Liang Chuyue humiliated me, Xia Zhaolin would transfer a sum of money to me. I accepted it without guilt. It was all the compensation I deserved for my emotional distress. It wasn't until Liang Chuyue had been quiet for a whole year, just when I thought she was too lazy to bother me anymore, she appeared holding a child. I had always treated her with neither arrogance nor humility, but on that particular day, I failed to manage my expression. I was shocked. Whose child is this? Liang Chuyue sneered. Of course, it's mine. Then she sneered. Haven't you had a crush on Xia Zhaolin for a long time? You should be more than happy to raise this child for him. She doesn't want to raise this child and is throwing it to me. I was just about to open my mouth to curse at her. Xiaohu bot file anti-piracy watermark. Find a book robot, choose Xiaohu, stable and reliable, no pitfalls. The nanny is a separate price. Suddenly, bullet comments appeared before my eyes. The child of the male and female leads, a genius prodigy, has appeared, becoming a hacker at 6, holding a painting exhibition at 8, and becoming a millionaire at 10. This is truly a fortune from heaven. I stood there, stunned. After a long while, I took the child from the swaddling clothes. Liang Chuyue curled her lips and rolled her eyes. You're even more of a bootlicker than I imagined. After all these years, have you managed to lick your way into a proper status? I silently stared at her. She seemed afraid I might change my mind, so she didn't mock me further and quickly walked away in her high heels. She didn't know that loving someone without expecting anything in return is what you call a simp, taking money for it. That's called work. Later, I went to resign from Xia Zhaolin. He lifted his eyelids casually. What's the fuss now? Before I could answer, he added impatiently, Liang Chuyue may have a bit of a spoiled temper, but she is my fiancée after all. You don't need to take it to heart. I thought to myself, isn't that just a spoiled temper? She even threw your child at me to raise. I replied, I had a child and went back to my hometown to raise it. Xia Zhaolin was instantly amused and angry. Where did you get a boyfriend? Even making things up has to have its limits. I didn't speak, just stared at him firmly. His dark eyes fell on me, scanning me inch by inch with an unreadable emotion. After a long while, Xia Zhaolin sneered and casually wrote a check, tossing it to me. Come back when you're done making a scene. I obediently caught the check. After all, it could be considered child support. Later, I took the child back to my hometown, a livable coastal city. I named that boy, Su Wangnian. The wedding photo shoot team didn't anticipate the current situation either, almost frozen on the spot. While curious passers-by kept peeking in, Su Wangnian sensed the tension in the air. He gritted his teeth, turned around, and shielded me. You are not allowed to bully my mom. Xia Xiaolin's tone was cold. Why doesn't your mother dare to turn around? Liang Chuiyue complained on the side. Lin, if they don't want to take the photo, then they don't have to. We don't need to bother with them. At worst, we can find other children. There will always be someone willing, I said. Why don't you dare to turn around? That voice grew heavier, increasingly icy. Xia Xiaolin's words were directed at me. Heavy footsteps tread on the sand, slowly approaching. Su Wangnian's small body trembled slightly. Don't come any closer, Xia Xiaolin sneered. With you like this, you still want to protect your mother. Wishful thinking. With these mocking and cold words, he spoke. I turned around sharply. Xia Xiaolin, what kind of skill is it to bully a child? It had been many years since I last saw Xia Xiaolin, and his appearance hadn't changed, though he seemed more mature and imposing than before, especially when those dark eyes locked onto someone. His expression was icy as his gaze slowly swept over me from head to toe. Then he lowered his eyes, letting them linger on me and Su Wangnian for a moment. I instinctively covered Su Wangnian's eyes. Don't scare him, scare him. Xia Xiaolin slowly chewed on these two words, then said with a cold smile, you really care about him. Su Ying, he stepped closer, as if puzzled or utterly furious. You really have a child. How dare you? Liang Chuiyue walked over and took his arm. This is Su Ying's own business, Lin. We still have to continue taking our wedding photos. Xia Xiaolin mercilessly pulled his arm away, looking down at Su Wangnian as he asked, how old are you? Su Wangnian pursed his lips slightly and did not answer, but even without an answer, it was still evident from his appearance. 5 or 6 years old. Xia Xiaolin calmly raised his eyes. Su Ying, you were already pregnant when you resigned from your job with me, weren't you? Liang Chuiyue wasn't one to have a good temper either. Being ignored repeatedly, her patience had completely run out. She sneered, Xia Xiaolin, you pride yourself on Su Ying loving you deeply, but when she was by your side, she was fooling around with other men. Don't you find yourself ridiculous? I narrowed my eyes and looked over. Just in time to meet Liang Chuiyue's gaze, she knew I wouldn't argue back, because arguing would mean telling the truth. It also meant that once Xia Xiaolin knew Su Wangnian was his child, he would definitely take him away, and I didn't want that to happen. I said calmly, Xia Xiaolin and I have always maintained a purely professional superior-subordinate relationship. Falling in love and having a child with someone else is just a normal part of life. How can you call it messing around? The child is right here, Miss Liang. Please watch your words. Su Wangnian bit his lower lip, glaring fiercely at Liang Chuiyue. I won't allow you to slander my mother. Liang Chuiyue was momentarily stunned. She wanted to say something more, opened her mouth, but then swallowed her words. Yet when she looked down at Su Wangnian, her expression carried a different emotion. Su Ying, you've really grown bold. Xia Xiaolin's tone carried not only a chill but also sarcasm. What? Is this what they call a mother's strength? Flattery. I forced a smile. If there's nothing else, we'll be leaving now. With that, without waiting for their reaction, I took Su Wangnian's hand and walked away. This time, no one stopped us. I saw the wildly scrolling bullet comments again. The female lead must be heartbroken, seeing her own child so fiercely defending someone else. If Su Wangnian knew that the person he just treated that way was his biological mother, he would definitely be sad and regretful. Sigh, if only the female lead had been honest with the male lead, then they could have taken their child back. There's no way around it. The female lead's strong and proud personality just destined it to be this way. I'm speechless. The supporting female character could have taken the initiative to tell them herself. How could that be? The supporting female character is probably panicking inside. If Su Wangnian ever finds out the truth, she'll definitely return to the Xia family, and will she even spare her a glance? After all, the supporting female character isn't her biological mother. Only a wealthy family can properly raise a child. It's really a shame that Su Wangnian is with the supporting female character. Yeah, when the time comes, wouldn't the child be much happier living with her biological parents than with the supporting female character? I pretend not to see these bullet comments, my expression remaining as calm as ever. After walking a distance, Mom, Su Wangnian cautiously spoke up, his long, dense eyelashes casting a fan-shaped shadow on his eyelids. I patiently crouched down, trying my best to give him a smile. "What's wrong?" The boy pursed his lips, looking at me with concern. "You've known them for a long time, haven't you?" I nodded. "Have they been bullying you all along?" Hearing his question, I was taken aback. "Bullying?" I lowered my eyes. "How can it be considered bullying when I'm just doing my job for money? It's just being ordered around by Xia Zhaolin and humiliated by Liang Chuyue every now and then." When Liang Chuyue hated me the most, she broke over a dozen glass bottles in a row and made me pick up the pieces one by one. I accidentally cut my hand, and in pain, I fell to the ground, with blood flowing uncontrollably. Only then did she seem to grow tired of this game, leaving in her high heels as if bestowing a favor. Even Xia Zhaolin's friend beside him was astonished. "That temper is just too ruthless," Xia Zhaolin simply said calmly. "It's good, being too soft would only invite bullying." After speaking, his gaze fell on me without any emotion, then he lifted his chin. "Get up, I'll take you to the hospital. I don't want to continue living such an unhappy life, so I chose to leave." I rubbed Su Wangyan's head. He remained silent for a long time. He stretched out his arms, hugged me, and whispered, "Mom, I will definitely protect you." I promised Su Wangyan that I would take him out to have some fun these few days, as he will soon start elementary school. The beach is indeed a suitable place for taking wedding photos. I thought it over and over. The next day, I took Su Wangyan to the amusement park. This place is full of kids, so they definitely wouldn't come here to take wedding photos, right? Look at the camera. Xiaohu document anti-piracy. Choose Xiaohu for bookfinding robots. Stable and reliable without pitfalls. Su Wangyan sat on the carousel and, upon hearing this, turned to look at me, the corners of his mouth lifting to reveal two shallow dimples on his cheeks. The photo froze in that moment. Looking at the heartwarming photo, I couldn't help but smile as well. After a round of fun, my stomach began to feel slightly uncomfortable. It's probably something unclean in the cotton candy, candied hawthorn, ice cream, or fried skewers I just ate. I reminded Su Wangyan. "Wait here for me." "Okay, Mom is going to the restroom and will be back soon." He took the unfinished fried skewers from my hand and nodded obediently. Su Wangyan has always been sensible, so I didn't have to worry about anything, until I came out. I searched for a long time but couldn't find Su Wangyan anywhere, and I panicked instantly. Just as I was about to call the police, "Suing," a deep voice sounded, and I turned around abruptly. Xia Zhaolin looked down at me. I didn't even have time to wonder why he was here. "Where is Su Wangyan?" I gritted my teeth. "So worried about him," Xia Zhaolin retorted. Without waiting for my answer, he said calmly, "I had someone take him to play. You just need to answer one question for me. Whose child is he?" I was taken aback for a moment. He was asking about the child's biological father. Xia Zhaolin narrowed his eyes. "When you were by my side, there were indeed a few clueless ones who had an interest in you. Which family's young master? He actually made you willingly give birth to a child without any status or recognition." I locked eyes with him. Xia Zhaolin looked down at me from above. "Come back to me now, and I won't pursue that child." He paused, then sneered. "I can also help you throw him back to his irresponsible father." Me? I looked at Xia Zhaolin, enunciating each word clearly. "That is my child." His expression turned cold. "Suing, after all these years of making a scene, haven't you had enough, all because of a child?" Xia Zhaolin curled his lips, his voice dripping with sarcasm. "Fine, great maternal love." He dialed the phone right in front of me. "Did you manage to get the hair samples from all those people around me back then?" After receiving a positive response, Xia Zhaolin's lips curled slightly. His deep, pool-like eyes swept over me, his voice icy cold. "I'm going to find that bastard's biological father." What did he say? "He's going to compare DNA one by one." I froze in place, feeling a mix of disbelief and the urge to laugh. After a long pause, I whispered, "Found him, and then what? Did you plan on raising him forever?" Xia Zhaolin retorted expressionlessly. "He intended to find Su Wangyan's biological father and then send him away. How could he possibly find it?" I spoke earnestly. "First, I love my child, and I won't let anyone else raise him. Second, it's even more impossible for me to return to you. I am very satisfied with my current life." As my words fell, "Mom," with a tearful voice, I saw a small figure running towards me. He was followed by several nervous bodyguards. Su Wangyan threw himself into my arms. Xia Zhaolin laughed in anger. Lifting his eyelids, "You all can't even keep an eye on one child." The lead bodyguard wiped his sweat and quickly explained, "It's just that this child is too clever." "Enough," Su Wangnian interrupted coldly. He lowered his head and suddenly asked, "Don't you want to know who your biological father is?" Su Wangnian was taken aback. My expression also froze. Su Wangnian is, after all, a child, even if he doesn't usually ask questions. It's impossible for him not to be curious or yearn for his biological father deep down. Xia Zhaolin gave a cold smile. "What if I help you find him?" The air seemed to freeze. Tear stains still lingered at the corners of Su Wangnian's eyes. He looked up at me, then shook his head firmly. "Having my mom is enough for me." My heart instantly sank. Xia Zhaolin's brows were clouded with gloom. I took Su Wangnian's hand and turned to leave, but he grabbed my wrist. Just then, a large group of people approached. "Xia Zhaolin, what are you doing?" Liang Chuyue, who had just finished taking solo photos, stood still not far away, her expression unreadable. She was accompanied by many assistants, makeup artists, and photographers. Xia Zhaolin still held my wrist tightly, and he calmly said to Liang Chuyue, "Su Ying and I have known each other for so many years. How could I let her child not even know their own biological father?" Liang Chuyue's gaze shifted from me to Su Wangnian. I said, "I don't want to know." Su Wangnian wiped the tears from her cheeks. "You bad people, stop harassing my mom." Liang Chuyue's face instantly turned even more unpleasant than before. Dressed in an exquisite dress, she walked over step by step, aggressive and confrontational. "We bad people, is that a word Su Ying taught you?" Seeing her hostile approach, I shielded Su Wangnian behind me. "What if I did teach him?" Liang Chuyue gritted her teeth. "Su Ying, is that how you teach a child?" "It wasn't my mom who taught me." Su Wangnian raised his eyes. "If you keep bullying my mom, you'll face retribution." Liang Chuyue's fingertips trembled slightly. She turned her head, looking at Xia Zhaolin's expressionless face. "Helping someone else find their biological father. Since when have you been so kind-hearted?" Liang Chuyue's red lips parted slightly. "After all, it's just a bastard child. What's the point in looking for them?" I raised my right hand and slapped her hard across the face. "You are truly disgusting," I said, word by word, "calling your own child a bastard." Liang Chuyue covered her face in disbelief. In a voice only we could hear, I whispered softly, "Su Wangnian was never a bastard. The one who gave birth but never raised him is." Liang Chuyue does not love Su Wangnian, not to mention maternal love. There isn't even a trace of pity, otherwise she wouldn't have thrown the tiny, swaddled baby to me like trash back then. We both know that this child would have a much better life with her than with me, but she didn't want to raise it. She would rather hand it over to a rival in her eyes, and her current feelings of resentment stem only from her unwillingness to accept it. She couldn't accept why her child has always been leaning toward me, even though she never fulfilled her duty of raising him. At that moment, a barrage of comments appeared. "Oh my God, Su Wangnian actually said that about the female lead." The female lead calling him a bastard was purely out of anger, but the female supporting character actually stood up for Su Wangnian. How should I put it? After all, it's a child she raised herself. Seeing him scolded like that, she must feel heartbroken. It's understandable, right? Understandable my ass. She never raised the child for a single day. And on top of that, she even called him a bastard. How can such a thing exist in this world? Thinking this, I let out a cold laugh. Liang Chuyue and Xia Zhaolin truly proved the saying, birds of a feather flock together. One calls the child a bastard, the other calls the child a cursed seed. However, the latter doesn't know that Su Wangnian is his child. How strange. Xia Zhaolin actually had no idea at all that his fiancée was pregnant with his child and even gave birth to it. I lowered my gaze, looking at Xia Zhaolin's hand gripping my wrist. Fortunately, he was holding my left hand, otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to slap him comfortably. With lightning speed, I slapped Xia Zhaolin across the face. Sure enough, after the slap, his fingers loosened. He deserved that. I pulled Su Wangnian away. Su Wangnian's eyes were bright, filled with admiration. "Mom, that was so cool." His voice was not lowered at all. The scene fell into complete silence. Me, well, keep it low-key. Keep it low-key. Evening, after Su Wangnian fell asleep, I received a message from an unfamiliar number. "Let's talk, I'm downstairs." Xia Zhaolin's phone number. I didn't expect him to find my new number so quickly. Xiao Hu, document anti-counterfeiting printing. Find a book robot. Choose Xiaohu, stable and reliable, no pitfalls, I thought for a moment, then went down. Xia Zhaolin was leaning against the wall, a cigarette glowing faintly between his fingers. When he saw me appear, he stubbed it out. What's the matter? I asked. His voice was slightly hoarse. Is that kid really that important? I find it amusing. Are you out of your mind? That's my child. His thoughts drifted away for a moment, and after a while, he said, you're right, if it were our child, you would definitely treat him better. Come back, he whispered. You can bring the child. I don't mind. I mind. I was astonished. Your words truly tarnished the relationship we once had as superior and subordinate. Xia Zhaolin's dark eyes fell upon me. You used to like me. I remained expressionless. I told you back then, you were my employer, and you insisted on being self-absorbed. Does Liang Chuyuan know about the things you're saying to me now? He pursed his lips. There is no affection between Liang Chuyuan and me. I never had any feelings for you before. I was puzzled. You, as a capitalist, exploited me for so many years. If I didn't hate you, it would be a testament to my generosity. Then I smiled slightly again. Xia Zhaolin. You say I liked you, but if I had liked you back then, would I have had a child with another man? It's always been you who's been deluding yourself. Anyway, Su Wangnian was raised by me, so it's practically the same as if I gave birth to him myself. It's perfect for deflating Xia Zhaolin's inflated ego. The atmosphere grew tense. Under the dim light, Xia Zhaolin's eyes were fixed intently on me. Fine, consider me overthinking it, but don't you want the money? I still have a place for you by my side. Come back, and we'll pretend nothing ever happened. I won't let Liang Chuyue appear in front of you again. Asking for another beating, I slapped him across the face again. Expressionless, Xia Zhaolin's face turned cold. Suing, what exactly do you want? I want you to get lost, I said. Xia Zhaolin left. The barrage went into chaos. The male lead still has an obsession with the female supporting character. After all, the male lead initially thought the female supporting character was lying about having a child, but it turned out to be true. Actually, the child raised by the female supporting character is his, but he doesn't know it. But why is the female supporting character treating the male lead like this? She clearly likes him a lot. Probably because her heart was broken by the male lead, although he treated her well back then. He always indulged the female lead's behavior. The female lead just has a bit of a spoiled temper, but there's nothing that can be done about it. On the other hand, Su Wangnian isn't as impressive as I imagined. He was practically raised to be useless by the female supporting character. Her financial resources and connections are nowhere near those of the male and female leads. I stared at the last bullet comment. Actually, regarding the earlier bullet comment that said Su Wangnian became a hacker at 6, held a painting exhibition at 8, and was a millionaire by 10, I think it's too unrealistic. It's also possible that, as the bullet comment said, I'm just not as good at raising children as the male and female leads. After all, I can't provide him with that many resources. But Su Wangnian is indeed clever, in every aspect and every sense, in recent days. Fearing that I might be in a bad mood, he has been trying every way to cheer me up. It wasn't until I was curled up on the sofa watching stocks that he seriously swiped a few times and pointed at one of them. I trusted him without hesitation. He leaned against me, flipping through the book in his hand. I quietly watched him. Su Wangnian looked serious, his thick eyelashes fluttering, and his cheeks still carrying a hint of baby fat. He felt the gaze, looked up, and smiled at me. His two dimples sinking deeply. I was taken aback for a moment. Suddenly, I realized that neither Xia Zhaolin nor Liang Chuyue had dimples. However, dimples are a recessive gene, so even if neither parent has them, there is still a certain chance for the child to inherit them. I shook my head, dispelling my confusion, and gently pinched his cheek. It wasn't until the next day that Liang Chuyue appeared at the coffee shop I owned. She pushed open the door of the cafe and sat down by the window. Getting straight to the point, Xia Zhaolin and I are already engaged. Fortunately, there weren't many customers in the cafe at the moment. I prepared 2 cups of coffee and sat down across from her. So, she lifted her eyelids. I'm now capable of raising my child. Calculate how much you've spent on him over the past 6 years, and I'll give you 3 times that amount. I paused upon hearing her words. After a long while, I asked, did you tell Xia Zhaolin? Su Wangnian was her child with Xia Zhaolin. Liang Chuyue's expression flickered with a moment of unease, but she quickly composed herself, rubbing her temples. Of course I did. I fell silent. I have thought about this day before, 6 years ago, when I took the child from Liang Chuyue. My thoughts were simple. I didn't want to continue living the life I had at that time, and that child happened to be the perfect opportunity. If that child truly is as the bullet comments say, practically like having cheats enabled, then I could gain endless wealth from him. If one day Liang Chuyue comes to ask for the child back, I can also demand an exorbitant amount, asking for several times the child's support. But that day really came. I actually hesitated. I couldn't swallow my pride either. How can Liang Chuyue treat a living person like that, taking them when she wants and discarding them when she doesn't? I calmly said, "You and Xia Zhaolin come over together and personally thank me for taking care of Su Wangyan all these years. Only then will I consider agreeing. I really want to see Xia Zhaolin's reaction when he finds out that the child he once cursed as a bastard is actually his own flesh and blood." I never expected that just this one sentence would make Liang Chuyue freeze in place. A few seconds later, she rejected me. "You just want to use this as an excuse to see Xia Zhaolin and keep seducing him, don't you?" I frowned suspiciously. I picked up my phone, pretending to make a call. "Fine, no meeting, but thanking me over the phone shouldn't be a problem, right?" Liang Chuyue visibly panicked. She grabbed my hand and said, "You don't need Xia Zhaolin for money. I can give it to you myself." I look at her. She realizes she has lost her composure, grits her teeth, withdraws her hand, picks up the cup, and takes a sip of coffee. I say slowly, "It's not Xia Zhaolin's child, is it?" Liang Chuyue's coffee cup falls to the floor, making the sound of shattering glass. No wonder, all the doubts make sense now. Back then, everyone knew about the marriage alliance between Liang Chuyue and Xia Zhaolin. No matter how much they argued, their families were still satisfied with each other. If she had given birth to Xia Zhaolin's child, the Liang and Xia families would have been overjoyed. Yet she resolutely abandoned the child and left it to me. Even if it was truly due to conflict that they left the child for me to raise, shouldn't they have taken the child back home when their relationship was good? Instead, they didn't come to visit even once over all these years. Even when Su Wangyan called them bad people, Liang Chuyue could only rage helplessly and couldn't reveal the truth on the spot. There is only one reason. Su Wangyan's biological father is not Xia Zhaolin at all. Liang Chuyue feels guilty in her heart. "What nonsense are you talking about?" Her voice turned cold. "We've never gotten along, but you can't just slander me like that." I chuckled. "Then go take a paternity test to prove that Su Wangyan is your child with Xia Zhaolin. Besides, if you want to take Su Wangyan away, you'll need his own consent." Liang Chuyue suddenly stood up, picked up her bag, and left with one final remark. "If you insist on making things so complicated, in the end, you'll end up with neither the money nor the child." I watched her retreating figure, then finally lowered my gaze. At that moment, bullet comments appeared before my eyes. "What? The child isn't the male lead's?" I also believed it at the time because the female lead said so. After all, we can only see the plot at key points, so we wouldn't know if the plot has derailed. No wonder the female lead has always been afraid to tell the male lead. It turns out the truth is like this. That supporting female character is also quite pitiful. She thought she was raising Xia Zhaolin's child, but it turned out she was raising the child of her love rival and another man. When I saw this comment, I chuckled. This truth has zero impact on me. I decided to adopt in the first place because of the benefits. But over these 6 years of living together, the benefits faded. And emotions emerged. Su Wangyan is simply my child, nothing more. I even felt a bit of schadenfreude. Xia Zhaolin's fiancé gave him a huge green hat. He totally deserved it. Liang Chuyue won't let this go easily. But compared to her, Xia Zhaolin has been the real headache for me lately. As I was grinding coffee beans, an employee leaned in and whispered, "Sis, that guy has been coming for 3 days now, and he keeps looking at you. Do you think he's interested in you?" Hearing this, I turned my head. Xia Zhaolin sat not far away, looking at me. Sunlight streamed through the glass window, casting a glow on his high, straight nose, less youthful than back then, with a bit of something indescribable added. I withdrew my gaze, quietly adjusting the machine, but my thoughts gradually drifted away. When I liked Xia Zhaolin, countless people mocked me, especially the friends around Xia Zhaolin. They say I'm daydreaming. That someone like Xia Zhaolin, a favored son of heaven, is not someone I can covet, but it's not without reason that I like him. Xia Zhaolin would lazily prop his head up and smile at me. "Suing, you're really beautiful." he would place his abundant lunch in front of me while I was munching on a steamed bun. He will save me from fire and water when I am in an awkward situation. On my 17th birthday, my father came to the school gate to ask for money. I refused, and he started cursing. If you don't give me money, who are you giving it to? I've heard it all along. You've hooked up with a guy and now you don't want your father anymore. Is that it? As his words fell, a tall figure appeared beside me. That was the first time I saw such an expression on Xia Zhaolin's face. Calm to the point of being icy, he clenched his back teeth, then smiled. How much do you want? My father was taken aback for a moment, then quickly raised a finger. 500,000. Xia Zhaolin nodded. Bank account number. My father hadn't expected it to go so smoothly and immediately beamed with joy. Take the money and get lost. Xia Zhaolin continued to smile, his tone gentle. If you dare harass Suing again, I'll have someone take care of you. The breeze tousled the boy's hair and the hem of his clothes. Xia Zhaolin stood there straight and unwavering. After my father left with a livid expression, he turned to look at me and said nonchalantly, "You're too weak. No one takes your refusals or resistance seriously." I was taken aback for a moment. He tilted his head slightly. "But it's okay, I'll protect you." After saying that, he smiled casually. "Don't look so gloomy, I'll take you out to eat. And don't worry about paying me back. Consider it a gift for your 17th birthday." Looking at his stunningly handsome face, I felt my ears grow warm for the first time. I have been by his side ever since. By his side, I feel happy and relaxed, until one day. Much later, Xia Zhaolin had too much to drink. I pursed my lips and advised, "You had a fever not long ago and just recovered. Maybe you shouldn't drink for now." He stared at me for a long moment, then lazily smiled and said, "Suing, do you really think of yourself as my girlfriend?" As soon as he finished speaking, the others burst into laughter. "Brother Xia, don't say any more, or she might start crying. There are plenty of girls who are eager to get close to our young master Xia. Do you even make the list?" I watched him quietly. Xia Zhaolin leaned back on the sofa with a faint smile at the corner of his lips, his posture relaxed and languid. The colorful lights of the bar flickered across his face, so handsome it was mesmerizing. But at that moment, I suddenly realized something. Xia Zhaolin is good to me because he treats me as a pet that has nothing left but obedience. Enduring his affection and accepting his teasing are the duties of a pet. It's my fault for liking him, but back then, I was young and thin-skinned. Hearing him say that, I didn't want to lose face either. Staring into his charming, captivating peach blossom eyes, I said word by word, "Don't flatter yourself. I only see you as an employer. After all, you've got nothing but money." He raised an eyebrow at the time but didn't call me out on it. I hope so. And so, from then on, I truly practiced what I preached. When I brought the coffee to Xia Zhaolin, he said, "Let's get married." I was so startled that the coffee in my hand nearly spilled. His slender fingers steadied the cup for me. "You can bring the child with you. I'll take care of him." Me, I set the coffee down in front of him. "Is marrying you such a good thing?" Xia Zhaolin's expression remained unchanged. "I can give you both money and love. I don't need you to give me anything." He pressed his finger against the center of his brow, suppressing the frustration there. "Are you really that unwilling to come back to me?" Listen carefully, and you'll notice a slight tremor in the tone of his voice. "I'm confused. Every minute and every second by your side, I feel pain. Why go back? The years you were away were the happiest days of my life." Xia Zhaolin looked at me, his eyes deep and nearly pitch black. After a long while, he turned his head away, his Adam's apple bobbing slightly. "But when you're by my side, I feel happy." "I always thought you'd come back once you were done making a fuss." "Mom," a clear voice interrupted. I followed the sound and looked over. A friend led Su Wangyan over, smiling as she said, "Our Nyanyan spent the whole day reading in the library today. So impressive." I took Su Wangyan's hand and smiled as well, saying, "Thank you for your trouble." My friend shook her head, then paused and tactfully added, "However, during that time, a woman came looking for Nyanyan. She didn't seem like a good person. Suing, you should be cautious." My expression turned serious. "Is the hair brown and wavy?" My friend nodded. After she left, Xia Zhaolin frowned slightly. "Liang Chuyue." I lowered my head and asked Su Wangyan, "Did that auntie talk to you alone?" Su Wangyan nodded. I paused for a moment. I didn't expect that speaking of someone would make them appear. Liang Chuyue pushed open the door of the cafe with an imposing air. "Suing, it was you who corrupted the child." Upon seeing Xia Zhaolin, Her voice abruptly stopped. Xia Zhaolin lifted his eyelids. What are you doing here? Liang Chuyue said in panic. The next second, Su Wangnian tugged at the corner of my clothes. Mom, this aunt said I was born by her, and she wants to take me away. The child's voice echoed in the cafe. Liang Chuyue gritted her teeth. What kind of lie are you telling? How old are you? Su Wangnian opened his backpack, took out a report from inside, and handed it to me. This is what the aunt gave me. DNA test report. Supports the existence of a biological relationship between Liang Chuyue and Su Wangnian. Liang Chuyue's face instantly turned pale. She walked over to snatch it, but the report was taken away by Xia Zhaolin. The man glanced over it. Liang Chuyue trembled all over. Listen to me, Lin. Unexpectedly, Xia Zhaolin smiled calmly and looked at me. The child isn't yours. I didn't say anything, just tightened my grip on Su Wangnian. I never expected it would come to this scene either. I enunciated each word clearly. Su Wangnian is my child. Liang Chuyue stared at me intently, her voice growing sharp. What makes you say he's your child? I lent him to you to raise back then. I am Su Ying's child. Su Wangnian raised his eyes and said earnestly, even if you and I share a blood relationship, my mother will only ever be Su Ying. My fingertips trembled slightly. Liang Chuyue pointed at me and angrily asked Su Wangnian, what can she give you? She can't give you anything. After saying that, she swayed slightly and then asked Xia Zhaolin, what? Aren't you curious about whose child this is? Xia Zhaolin remained calm. It doesn't matter. Liang Chuyue laughed a few times, her voice hoarse. You thought the child was Su Ying's and kept pressing for answers, but when it turned out to be mine, you didn't care at all, knowing it wasn't Su Ying's child. Did you even feel relieved? Xia Zhaolin suddenly curled the corner of his lips slightly and said, yes. I glanced at Xia Zhaolin without showing any expression. He actually didn't think at all that this child could be his. Liang Chuyue raised her hand to slap him, but he grabbed her wrist. Xia Zhaolin's eyes held no warmth. His tone devoid of any emotion. I already spoke to the Liang family about calling off the engagement yesterday. Xiaohu bought document anti-piracy for book-finding robots. Choose Xiaohu, stable, reliable, and free of pitfalls. Liang Chuyue took a step back, pausing for several seconds before her voice steadied. Yesterday, you didn't know the truth yet, but you still wanted to call off the engagement, because of Su Ying, right? I said in exasperation, what does this have to do with me? If you two want to argue, go outside. I'm tired of listening to it. Su Wangnian obediently nodded. I'm tired of listening to it too, Mom. Liang Chuyue looked down at Su Wangnian, tears unexpectedly welling up in the corners of her eyes. She wiped her eyes roughly. I'm your mother. What right do you have to call someone else, Mom? I said. Some people only realize how precious something is after they've lost it. That's just being foolish. Back then, Liang Chuyue could have kept Su Wangnian by her side, but she didn't want to. I frowned. Then why did you give birth to him in the first place? Liang Chuyue's voice was hoarse as she said, the doctor told me my health was poor and I couldn't have an abortion. In the end, it all ended in a complete mess. My thoughts were also in complete disarray. In the evening, Su Wangnian quietly nestled beside me. I moved my lips, but he spoke first. Mom, there are many blood relationships among people. But true love is rare. Having a blood bond doesn't necessarily mean there is love, and love doesn't need blood as its vessel. Under the warm yellow light, he smiled at me. My nose tingled with emotion, and I gently stroked his soft hair. Actually, Mom has been learning a lot these years too, I said softly. I've also saved up quite a bit of money. How about I take you abroad? Xia Zhaolin and Liang Chuyue are not normal people. Staying away is the best choice. Wherever Mom goes, I'll go. He nodded seriously. I couldn't help but laugh. The barrage appears once again. The supporting female character took the child abroad. What about the female lead then? I watched the whole thing, and I think it's better for the child to stay with the supporting female character. And actually, we've been overlooking one point all along. Su Wangnian himself wants to stay by the supporting female character's side. Actually, being by the side of the female supporting character is much happier than being by the side of the female lead. Is it okay to say that? Moreover, the female lead's current mental state isn't suitable for raising a child. I've read the previous plot many times and deduced that Su Wangnian was likely born from a one-night stand the female lead had with another man after arguing with the male lead. Actually, Su Wangnian's biological parents are no longer important. The female supporting character is right. Su Wangnian is just her child. The barrage of comments really does change its tune quickly. I let out a faint sigh, but it was also because of those comments that I managed to nurse Su Wangnian back to health at the time. They weren't entirely useless. Without further hesitation, I started handling the procedures for going abroad the very next day. Su Wangnian was even more efficient than I was. Researching information and planning strategies online by himself, even marking out 3 schools in the city where we would settle. He was both diligent and clever. Although Su Wangnian might not be the male lead's child, he was still the female lead's child, so he still had a certain aura about him. We settled in a small foreign city by the sea, where the air was fresh and the streets were filled with flowers. I still opened a beautiful coffee shop, and in my spare time, I would check the stock market, with returns that were consistently high, but I still enjoy watching dramas and playing games. Whenever that happens, Su Wangnian would prepare snacks for me and then sit beside me to do homework or read. Actually, Xia Zhaolin contacted me several more times. He said, "Suing, nothing happened between me and Liang Chuiyue. Come back, I've missed you all these years. Since you like that child, I will raise him as my own. Suing, I beg you." I completely ignored it. Su Wangnian grew a bit older, and Xia Zhaolin no longer bothered me. I thought he had finally given up in the face of difficulty. It was only later that I found out he had tried to inquire about the address through various means, but Su Wangnian quietly intercepted all of them. Su Wangnian even hacked into Xia Zhaolin's private email, deleted all the emails inquiring about the information, and left a warning saying, "Do not disturb." When I asked Su Wangnian how he did it, he just smiled innocently and said, "It wasn't difficult." I suppressed the shock within me. Heavens, could what the bullet comments said actually be true? Apart from that, Liang Chu never appeared again. Occasionally, I could still catch some news about them from the bullet comments, after the engagement was called off. Liang Chuiyue was so furious that she immediately sent Liang Chu abroad, but provided very little living expenses, forcing her to fend for herself. Xia Zhaolin took over the family business, but things did not go smoothly. He was constantly embroiled in internal conflicts with other relatives of the Xia family, leaving him overwhelmed and exhausted. No one else appeared by his side. As the bullet chat continued, people started saying, the supporting female character is still the happiest. Eating and sleeping all day long. Yes, Su Wangnian is a bit older now, and he even cooks the meals these days. Me, I looked at the barrage of comments and smiled softly. But I truly am happy, Mom. Su Wangnian's voice rang out as he came home from school, excitedly saying, "I've earned some money. How about I take you to see the northern lights?" I looked at the child with smiling eyes and said with a grin, "Okay." From then on, the sun was bright, and the sky was clear for miles.